Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear listeners. This is a quick introduction video to the 12-er book club, which was inspired by this age of digitalization and technology. So during this pandemic, one thing that's happening is that everybody is using technology. So both for, it can be used for good, as well as there's a lot of beneficial content out there, and one can use technology in a very beneficial way, as well as the vice versa. So it can be used inappropriately for indecent content, and unfortunately there's a lot of that's available. So there was a lot of thought that went into this particular book club, and the aim was simply to let everybody get everybody to start reading and use the technology in a more beneficial way than in a bad way. There was just a random thought that I had. Maybe I'll elaborate on that a little later on. For example, the entire digital world and how it impacts us. What if, the Dajjal was actually digital? But you know what, that's a random thought. I'll elaborate on that later on. Don't want to keep this too long. Just want to keep it short. So instead of using our devices for unnecessary browsing, why not use it to gain some knowledge and strengthen our belief? So let's collectively read books written by our scholars and share the information and knowledge with each other. So the first book that I wanted for us to read is Peshawar Nights. So this is an excellent book to read. This book is pretty much a dialogue that's taking place between Shia scholars, one Shia scholar, and a few scholars from our brethren fiqh. There are many Shia-Sunni differences that are addressed in the dialogue, and especially historical, in a historical context. And the dialogue is taking place over a series of nights in Peshawar, hence the name. So just a small spoiler alert. So towards the end of the novel, the non-Shia scholars are convinced by the arguments that are presented that they accept the Shia fiqh. Now, this book is available online in English. I believe Islamic Mobility has it, as well as alislam.org. I believe so. And there's two books. There's part 1 and part 2. Now, part 1 is what we'll start with. And I believe it's about 502 pages. And it's divided into both parts and chapters. So we're going to start reading by parts. I believe there's 8 parts. So let's start with part 1, which is about 27 pages long. And then in 2 to 3 days, I will I'll upload the review / summary of that particular part. So and then after that we can read part 2, and then 2 to 3 days after that I will upload the review for part 2. So in terms of how this channel will operate, it's more of a podcast type of thing, where I will just do a summary in a podcast type of way. It's not going to be like an audio, it's not going to be a video, it's going to be more of an audio summary. Okay, so if you're unable to find this book, Peshawar Nights, online for any reason, you can just simply Google Peshawar Nights PDF and you'll be able to find it online. But just in case you're not able to, you can always email us 12erbookclub@gmail.com, and inshallah we'll be able to email you the PDF version of it. I believe an Urdu version is available for anybody who does understand Urdu. It's more of an audio book that's available on YouTube, but I'm not sure if it's both books or just one. Feel free if you would like to listen to it, if you do understand Urdu. So enjoy your reading, and that's all I have for today. And inshallah, let's get this rolling. And Khuda Hafiz.